Alright. We're back. Where are we going again? That way. We're gonna go use our devil friend to go in a hole, I guess. Ow. Okay. Is this the hole I need to go through? It is! Bye! I can make stuff. I still need carbon steel. Oh, I can make one of those. What's that? Samurai armor. Forgot the thing that I went in here to even do. I was calling you. Damascus steel. That seems like a thing that is killing my bit rate. Let's just keep making armor. Until the bitrate comes back. Seems odd.
Hello.
Hello. Bitrate's dying.
It's a shame. I was going to say I'm happy to see the return of Castlevania, though.
Love that triple-digit bit rates.
Things looking okay so far. We'll see. Oh, there was a bit of a load error. Oh, there it is again. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Bit rate things. You should move over here to Minnesota and get the fibers.
Probably.
You can probably hang out in the basement or something.
I'm just gonna see what's over here. I hope it's not a cutscene. It's not a cutscene, but it is a new area.
Oh.
The Iolan Ruins. There are so many enemies. Nobody can see.
Yeah, I still see you in the equipment menu, so I'm waiting for catching up.
Ow.
Today I applied some English patches to some games for Sega CD and Genesis, and
Nice.
the horrible Sega CD version of Dracula to my card.
Is that like I feel like I remember reading that that's like a weird adventure game or something. Hey, that's green. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we don't actually have any extenders. We just have our big ass modem, and it covers the house pretty well. Big ass router, rather. I forget if you can get Wi-Fi in the basement or not. That might not go that far down, but we do have Ethernet to the basement, so.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, long before we got the Wi-Fi's, when we first got DSL in 1999 or 2000 when we got DSL, but we got the whole house wired up with Ethernet, which was a good call, because it's always nice to have an Ethernet wired house, even if you're doing a lot of wireless stuff nowadays.
So my fun internet story is whenever I started making videos, which was entirely too long ago at this point, for me to still be doing this for, funsies.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have high-speed internet at my house. I still had dial-up. My parents still had dial-up. So I would upload videos either at my school, because it had high-speed internet at the time, or at my aunt's house, who had high-speed internet. I would put all my videos on a thumb drive and just be like, I'm gonna upload all these, don't close that tab, and they'd be like, okay, cool.
Nice. I went to torrent at college when they had tried to block it, and I found a workaround by using Tor as a proxy, where I couldn't download super fast. I could, get somewhere between 10 and 100k a second, which was way more than nothing.
That's true. Turns out anything is in fact more than nothing.
I also used it to join IRC, because at some point their system, whatever it was, just prevented me from doing IRC at all.
I remember that time that my college was like, we're gonna block PSN for like 3 months. Supposedly accidentally.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that one ever... I can't remember if that ever happened for us or not. I know I used... Back in the original Xbox days, Xbox Live worked on our college network. And I definitely played a lot of Halo 2 with friends there, but... Yeah, actually, I don't think... No, I suppose the PS3 would have been out during my time in undergrad, so that would have been a thing.
It would have been
I didn't, because I was in undergrad 2004 to 2008. I just didn't have a PS3 in that time period.
Which makes sense, because, man, remember when launch PS3s were like, hey...
Expensive and bad?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I got it in 2009. It was somewhere around when Valkyria Chronicles was first a thing.
I think I got my PS3 in like 2011, thereabouts.
So you got a Slim then, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my original was an 80 gigabyte fat. Totally non-backwards compatible fats. Well, I mean, all of them do PS1, but like not PS2. Before that, I was a Wii 60 man.
I just had a Wii.
An HD TV for my dorm room, and sold off my old CRT and used that for the rest of my time at college. And I still have that HD TV. It's like a 20 or 21 inch Samsung with a ton of ports on it, but only 720p resolution. And my dad uses it to watch football games on broadcast television.
Still works. This TV that I'm using, I think, was my grandmother's.
Because we have two TVs in the house. We have that HD TV I got in the mid 2000s, and then we have the Sony Trinitron, which we got when I was in 3rd grade, CRT.
Nice.
In the basement, which is damn nice. It's taken a beating now and then, but it's still quite functional.
I am low on health. I still have my Pixie.
The Video 2 port is a bit finicky though, so if I had tech credentials, I'd open it up and try and, tighten the connections there or something, because you kind of jiggle it some of the time.
I've got this TV, which is a totally not branded anything. I think the brand name on it is iSymphony, which I don't think exists anymore.
Is that like some Sears store brand or something?
I think so, probably. Then I have a CRT that's like super small that I have and have had since 2003 or 4 at this point.
Sure. I mean, if it works.
Yeah. Which, admittedly, most of what it is used for nowadays is, do I want to play NES or SN or Atari stuff? Because I don't have video out that's not coaxial up for those. Still, I have like a bunch of RF modulators daisy-chained.
Nice.
It's like I got one of them top.
Well, it's really easy to get. It's really easy to get, quality video cables for Super Nintendo. Original Nintendo, depending on your model, maybe not so much.
I have the top-loading one, and so it doesn't have like
the top loader. You need to mod it to be able to do anything other than RF.
Yeah.
But that is cool. The top loaders are nice.
I have a non-top loading one, but the connector is doing NES connector things 30 years later, which is an easy enough fix, but I'm lazy and don't want to deal with it because I have a top loading one, and so why would I bother?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, if you're going to do anything, I'd think it would be, get someone to mod the top loader to be even cooler.
Yeah. Alternately, I just wish... I don't think these types of adapters exist, even though I'm sure they have to. I'm just like, is there no way to just do coax to, like, composite? Or, composite is the 3-1.
To anything, it'll just be, you'll be paying money to make your shitty signal into another shitty signal.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, because then I can just daisy chain it in even more through all of my video stuff. So I don't have to change cables and they can just hit buttons.
You should go my route, paying lots of money for HD output and upscalers and stuff, and then just chaining together a ton of HDMI switches and splitters.
I mean, that's what I do already. I just haven't gone the route of, I should get one of those analog NTs yet or something.
Yeah, those are good, or if you want to just use your original shit, as long as you have composite output or something, like the retro tanks are pretty cheap if you want a decent upscaler. Yeah, again, with RF, that's a different story. I can't help you with RF.
No one can.
Only Channel 3 and occasionally Channel 4 can help you with RF.
Pretty much. And then it's also funny because, like, I have a 7800 that used to be like my brother's hooked up, but I don't have the original RF modulator for it. And all the Nintendo ones I have, I learned that there are like 2 types of RF recently, and that kind of blew my mind. And then
I never really thought about it, but I guess that makes sense.
So the Nintendo RF modulators don't play well with Atari RF modulating, which is a problem.
Interesting. Because I remember, at least in the 16-bit era, I was able to chain together Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and our TV's antenna without any problems.
So that is fine. What happens is I'm trying to plug, because I'm trying to plug the Atari cable into a Nintendo RF modulator. And the issue there is with the two types of RF, the Nintendo one defaults to the one that isn't the Atari standard, which just makes everything super staticky.
That brings me back. We had the bunny ears in the basement. Just stretch them all over the place and rotate the dial to... I didn't even know what the dial did, but you rotated the dial. Yeah, until you got the best picture.
Yeah, like when I try to play like 2600 or 7800 games, it looks like I'm in a rainstorm and there's bad connection with the bunny ears, basically. But I did play E.T.
I feel like there's two lessons here. The first being don't play Atari games, and the second being emulation.
Basically. Because 7800 controllers are also very weird. I'm not a fan.
That said, I think my thing is just I don't have the nostalgia for that particular era, and B, I haven't actually looked too deeply into the catalog there, so I don't actually know what the good games are.
I think there are some interesting Atari stuff. I'm not going to stream any of it because it's like, what's the point? But you know,
Game Room looks and it's like, oh god.
Yeah. Like, I love Circus Atari, but that doesn't make for, entertaining video content on the internet.
I guess there was stuff like River Raid, though.
Yeah, River Raid's good. Buster Brothers. That's not the thing. But Bonanza Brothers is the Sega thing. Oh, Keystone Cops. Keystone Caper. That's what I'm thinking of. Something alliterative. And then there's like stuff that's interesting from, weird historical perspectives. Like I have a copy of E.T. because fuck you, I saw one for $1 and was like, well, I have to buy this.
Sure. No, that seems like a nice cheap piece of history to have.
I got this weird game called Carnival that I mostly got because it's on the front of it. It says produced for Atari 2600 by Sega, and I went, well, that's weird. And then the back of it says Coleco, and I was like, none of this makes sense. I have to know what this is, and it's $1. And it turns out it's kind of a shitty Breakout clone. It's like, well, worth it for this weird nonsense, but
Yeah, the Atari era was something. Like the idea that they had department store branded versions of the Atari is like, what the heck?
And like, because that was also
that reminds me of?
What?
Of like every once in a while there's something crazy like that. Like there was an HP branded iPod during the height of the iPod. And
I did not know about that. That's wild.
Bring that up. And occasionally there was like some weird Sega hardware that was manufactured by other people for the Saturn.
I mean, there are like two or three different types of CDI that were made. Like one of them is Philips, the other one was Magnavox or something. Welcome to the playing Castlevania in the background while we talk about old video game technology stream. Thunder Demon, get back here. Yeah, I mean, like the late 70s, early 80s were a wild time for video games where you have things like Purina had a video game division and decided they were going to get into the video game making business and make a weird, shitty Purina game. That dog howled sound waves at me, and I'm not a fan of that.
Yes, the JVC/Victor made the V Saturns. There's also something called the High Saturns, some of which were intended to be integrated into cars. Yeah. And those were Hitachi. And of course, there was the amazing Panasonic Q.
Yeah. I don't know what Healing Drop did. So can I, like, look and see what that does? Like here. Is there no way to, like... Wish there was a way to see what the abilities did. Oh wait, here we go. Ability. Aha! Allows enemies to drop healing spheres for a brief period when attacked. Collects spheres. Oh, that's cool. Turns it into Bloodborne. Oh boy. That is not how crossbows work. They were not machine guns.
Let me tell you about a thing called Berserk.
Are machine gun crossbows a thing in Berserk?
Yes, very much so.
Great.
That's what those look like. It's a crank-based crossbow.
These just look like someone took like a bellows and stuck it on a crossbow, which seems hilarious.
It's supposed to be the Berserk crossbow.
Oh, look at that, as soon as I'm not getting shot.
Understandable.
Yep. Okay, sure. That kind of just looks like a mousetrap. Or like a mousetrap on a crossbow thing. I need you to stop firing cannons at me, sir. Thank you.
Also, I posted a picture to the before that, which was the prototype version of that HP iPod.
I did notice that. Thanks,
Apparently, once it actually hit the market, apparently it wasn't that horrible gray-blue color, but honestly, that would have been more interesting just because it would have been unique. iPods. It's kind of a shame that Microsoft squandered the potential of the Zune so much. They made some cool hardware, but they had some really bad software on the PC end with those. Also, questionable marketing, like telling their users to squirt each other.
I will not squirt anyone who owns a Zune. Thank you, Bill Gates.
Just for the heck of it, I searched Zune squirt in Google, and I got this news story from 2006 from Newsweek, and the headline is "Zune should go beyond squirting."
I mean,
the first line of the article is, "Have you squirted a song yet? That's the question Microsoft hopes your friends will ask you as you ponder which digital music player to acquire." After all, iPods don't squirt songs, and Microsoft's new player Zune does.
So, I'll admit I'm not, up on the Zune. Is squirting a song just like sharing wirelessly? Is that what they're trying to get at there?
Yeah, the Zunes had this feature where you could share a song with someone locally, and it would basically zap it to them over the Wi-Fi. But they could only have access to it for like some short period of time, like 12 or 24 hours. And there were some other limitations too. But that was one of their marketing features for the original Zune. They're like, you can squirt people your music.
Yep.
Squirt.
Sure thing. What if I just leave? Because these writers are very rude and I want to leave. Ghosts. Health situation is somewhat dire, and I hope I find a save point soon. At the very least, keep getting hearts for my... so I can kill myself with my fairy. I wanted the anti-poison thing, but area transitions happened. And that fishman exploded into a gush of blood.
Nice.
Oh, that looks like a room of some kind. Might be a teleporter room. It's a teleporter. Or no, it's... I can tell that's the save icon or the teleporter icon. It's definitely the squeaky door icon. Well, we're gonna go in there anyway real quick, because there are too many enemies around. Oh, it's a saber. Thank goodness. Still have the... I do... I'm just going to run away from all the fishmen. I picked this way. Lands. There's the teleporter room. I know where I am now. That's convenient. Oh, I can't go that way yet, because I need something. Well, I thought I knew where I was. Now I'm kind of confused again, but whatever. Out of here, bone dragons. I'm not good. I want to get out of this other thing. Oh, what's behind this door? Guy bombs. That's what's behind this door. Oh, let me down, Gaibon.
Where are all the sluggers at?
They were earlier. There were
I remember
sluggers
them
and
from
Gaibons. They had big sticks. They were very irritating. See what I can make here. Oh, I can make a dragon killer. That's fun. boy, now we're full berserk. Now we're back at the abandoned castle? Like the first area of the video game?
Yep, that's the thing you do.
I feel like I'm not supposed to be here yet. Or be back
And eventually
here yet.
you do need to go back there. I'm not sure if you're at that point yet, but...
No, maybe I am. Or wait. Oh, yeah, no, okay. I guess we're supposed to go this way. I think this guide is not particularly clear, but, you know. Well, let's try the other door, maybe. That looks like a thing. That looks like a potion. It's just a potion hanging out over here for some reason, sure.
Why not? Game, if you let go the other way.
I mean, there's still more abandoned castle the other way. It was just it was abandoned castle I'd been to, so I was like, oh, what's over here? There's probably something else. The answer was a potion. Okay, I guess we need to go back to the ruins, because there's a cutscene that will take us to the castle, and that's what we need to do.
Aha.
Oh, I got a line. Oh, there's a slugger.
Yay.
2 dive bombs, 1 slugger. It's my favorite shock site. Save room. Oh. Hate you, Skeleton Rider. Oh shit, Trevor.
You are not without skill.
Don't get stabbed by Isaac, Trevor. I like that his whip made a laser noise and an explosion.
You vanquished Lord Dracula by a fluke, a mere twist of fortune, yet I grant you are adept. Hector! I need not linger here any longer. I've gotten what I need. But mark me well, I will slay both of you without fail. Without fail.
Somehow I think you're gonna fail.
Escaped. He fled when he saw you. There can be no doubt of it then. You are indeed his enemy.
Just as I told you when we first met.
Be that as it may, I am the one who shall vanquish him. Your meddling is unwelcome. Leave him to me.
Pity. How unfortunate. Such a rare opportunity.
Oh, what's up, bald guy?
Contrary, to obtain the vengeance I seek, Isaac must be slain by my hand alone.
Totally not suspicious, bald guy.
He's lost.
Think you so? Then you shall be glad to know where he is bound.
And where might that be?
The castle ruins where we first met. Do you remember the place?
Yeah, it was called Abandoned Castle
Well said.
on my map.
At the top of those ruins there is a hidden chamber. 'Tis there you shall find him.
Then that is where I must go. Ah, I'd almost forgotten. Saint Germain gives you his regards.
Saint Germain, you say? Did you meet him in the clock tower?
Just so. He pledged he would no longer interfere in this matter.
It cannot be. No, that is not possible. I must make haste to complete the final touches. I beg your leave. Adieu.
I'm just gonna drop into French randomly, don't mind me. And we've been teleported to the Abandoned Castle. Look at that big old moon.
Yay.
Look at that big old save room. Right before a big old boss fight.
Hmm.
Maybe. Oh, this looks like this is going to be a big old boss fight. Hey, what's up, Trevor?
You, Hector?
It is. I was told a hidden chamber lies beneath this castle. Isaac is there now.
What? That's not possible. In order to open the passage to that chamber, the blood of my clan must...
Buddy, you got stabbed.
So that is why he fought me earlier.
Oh no.
What is it, Belmont?
Tell me, Belmondo.
You must show me just how much power you've gained.
Wait. I have no reason to fight you.
This is your reason. Defend yourself!
Oh god. Trevor, why? I'm gonna call in Big Boy. Robert Patrick. Boy, Trevor's kicking my ass.
Yay.
Trevor, you gotta, buddy, you've gotta calm down with your dumb lightsaber whip.
It's done killing vampires. Now he needs to kill the Sith Lords.
Trevor. Oh dear. Just fucking item crashing over here. Not bird. Mage. Mage is what we want. Oh, mage is maybe not what we want. Yep. Alright, Trevor.
So, this is the best the Devil Forge Master can do?
Shut up, Trevor. How much money have I got? I got 400 money. Oh, wait. I'm gonna set this save point as the warp point so I can go warp to the shop and come back.
Welcome. What will it be today?
I can't carry any more potions. That's a bummer.
Will that do it? Anything else? Thanks as always. Come back again.
Can only carry 5 potions for some reason. It's not armor helmets, because I need to make a salad, which means I need to make a Gallic helmet. Maybe this helmet will help me. Probably Soleil or something. Whatever. Bourgogne. And then a crest helm. Yep, that seems better. Short sword and ceramics or foil or currency, which I can't buy. And for this I need one of everything, and I can't buy any of it. Or I can buy some of it, but not worth it. Well, I got a cool hat.
Welcome. What will it be today?
And we're just gonna buy
Will that do anything else? Will that do anything else? As always. Take care.
teleporty tickets,
Welcome.
because
Take care.
why not? Didn't say that for doing anything like that. That was random. Good lord, Trevor. Juggle him, Terminator.
Did the stream just end?
No.
Okay, because I'm just watching a non... Oh, I see what happened. There we go. I tried to hit the live button and instead YouTube skipped me to the next video, which was the last stream. Are you trying to fight Trevor again?
Yeah, and this time full realsies.
Win the fight, you loser.
I'm trying. Trevor's hard.
Beat him up, though. How hard could it possibly be?
He keeps kicking me in the dick. I'm not Alucard. He's also got a fucking Raiden Superman dive. And then the item crashes.
At least it's probably not as bad as Saint Germain. He's not stun locking you with poison.
This is true. He's stun locking me with his foot, though. Let's go, Satan. Alright, Satan, beat up Trevor Belmont. Help me. Aim better than not at all, Satan.
They just don't make him like they used to.
Turns out Trevor Belmont is a wind elemental.
I mean, that whip is green.
It's true.
Green is the color of wind, I think.
Generally speaking.
Why, though?
I don't know. Well, Trevor Belmont has kicked Satan in the face super hard.
Don't you mean Belmondo?
Oh yes, I'm sorry, Trevor Belmondo. Oh boy. Trevor Belmont cares not for your time stops.
Trevor Belmont doesn't have time to bleed,
He doesn't.
except for earlier when he apparently did.
When he got stabbed by Isaac.
There was a French racing driver named Paul Belmondo. I just thought you should know that.
That's great.
Awesome.
I think he's like a Formula 3 guy. I think I vaguely remember hearing about Paul Belmondo.
According to this, French racing driver who raced in Formula 1 for the Norwegian Pacific Racing teams. He may have also done Formula 3 or something. I don't know.
Probably. Generally, you do Formula 3 to get to Formula 1.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess. I don't know racing.
Like the minor leagues, or was 3 the electric one?
3 is the minor leagues. E is
Okay.
the electric one.
His father was
Okay.
Jean-Paul Belmondo.
That's a great
French
name.
He was a famous French actor from the 60s and 70s, apparently.
Galacon that I needed.
He had a small role in a comedy, Be Beautiful But Shut Up.
That's a great name.
Alright.
It was made in 1958. It was a different
It
time.
was a different time.
He played D'Artagnan in The Three Musketeers.
Hey.
on in. What will it be? What will it be today? Will that do it? Thank you. Will that thank you? Thanks as always. Take care.
Oh wait, I may have goofed. Oh no, I didn't. Okay.
A very goofy movie.
An extremely goofy movie, I think is what you mean.
Probably.
It's the one with skateboarding. And awkward disco dancing scenes with Goofy and a librarian.
Yep.
Is that you, Hector?
Oh, Trevor. You gotta do 3 hits for the roll to hit on that. This is not going well. I feel like he shouldn't be allowed to have two uppercuts. Like, commit to your one.
But his mom said he gets 2 uppercuts.
Does Trevor Belmont have a mom?
Presumably. Where else would he come from?
I don't know. Magic.
I don't think that's how that works. I'm 99% sure Trevor Belmont had a mom. All of the Belmonts had moms.
Name them.
Sonia Belmont.
Shit.
Yeah. Eat it.
Oh boy.
Let's go find the Belmont family tree.
That, I hope that exists. I'm sure it does.
I'm
but
looking at it right now.
Tell me all about the Belmondos.
I'll tell you that there's a lot of unknown woman in boxes that just say unknown woman leading to children.
That sounds like the Castlevania canon to me.
Yep.
Isn't Sypha like a Belmont mom?
Yeah, because Trevor and Sypha got together, and then 2 unknown descendants later, you get Christopher Belmont.
Is that the
who
guy?
with an unknown woman made Soleil Belmont, who with an unknown woman then made unknown descendants, who then had Simon Belmont.
Is
Who then, with an unknown woman, had Simon's son/daughter, who with unknown man/woman made Eustace Belmont.
Oh, Eustace is the guy from Circle of the Moon, right?
No, he's from Harmony of Dissonance.
Right.
That's the second Game Boy Advance one.
And then
Circle of the Moon is
with
A, not a
Lydia.
Belmont, and B, not canon.
Lydia Erlanger made unknown descendants, then made Richter Belmont. And then
Who's
yeah.
Never mind. I don't remember. I think I was about to say who's Circle of the Moon again, and then realized we just talked about it.
I don't think Circle of the Moon guy was Belmont.
Wasn't
Yeah.
the Belmont.
Grab
The Belmont
just
in that
said
game
that.
was the... Yeah, the only Belmont in that game I think was the old dude, but he might not even have been a Belmont.
Where do you get all the descendants of the Belmonts that are in Order of Ecclesia?
That's a great question.
Ask me about what Leon was up to. Maybe he got really prolific after that incident.
After Sarah disappeared, his girlfriend, his fiance, turned into a whip.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
It's
fucking
like, well, gotta have a
bionic,
ton of kids now so they can kill the knight.
like fucking bionic commando over here.
Yeah.
Who's Lament of Innocence, Belmont?
Leon.
Okay.
That's the game where his fiance turns into a whip.
The Belmont of note anyway. There could have been previous Belmonts, but they weren't Dracula fighters.
Yeah. The previous Belmonts were all shit.
What are we talking
Belmont
about?
clan starts at Leon.
For some reason, I thought like Lament of Innocence was like the first chronologically.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
Wow.
Why did you not think that?
Because we were talking about. Because I thought you said Trevor and Sypha had Leon. Or.
No.
Christo-
Trevor and Sypha had unknown descendants that then had Christopher Belmont.
Okay, who's that?
Some fucking dude.
From where?
He's from Castlevania The Adventure.
Oh, the Game Boy one.
Yeah.
And Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge.
Yeah. Those are the Game Boy ones.
I didn't realize those were canon, but okay.
Apparently.
Or Adventure Rebirth, which is the better one of those.
Yeah.
That you can't get anymore. It's dead forever.
I'm sure you can
Yeah.
download it for modded Wii's and whatnot, but yeah, I get the point. Much like I will never get Afterburner, was it Climax? for
Afterburner
the
Climax.
PS3?
Yep. I have Afterburner Climax. Man, I just noticed that there is something here that I read ahead a little bit. That there is a chair called the Hilarious Cushion.
That is a thing, in fact.
I'm gonna try a different sword, because this big great sword is not...
No, hold on.
Let me save again. Trevor!
Ugh.
Cheer up, Trevor. Poison you. I stole your curry, Trevor!
Yeah.
It's the source of his power. It's like Popeye's spinach.
He did seem pretty unhappy about it. Is that a usable item? Please say yes.
I would assume.
Yeah! That's very useful. Oh boy. Stop throwing your crosses at me, Trevor. Also, stop kicking me. Oh, I didn't even get the chance to use the curry. I died too quick.
Devil Forge Master can do.
Trevor will not suffer the curry thieves.
Is that you, Hector?
It is. I was.
Good lord, Trevor. Stop being like Robert Patrick. He's like, no. Trevor Belmont prefers Terminator 3. Oh, Trevor. Make mad, talk about cults. Talk about the cult of Trevor Belmont.
Don't think there's a cult of Trevor Belmont. Oh, but did you know that Trevor Belmont is the first Belmont to defeat Dracula?
Not,
That's pretty cool, right?
That's pretty cool. Not Leon.
No, Leon never fought Dracula.
Well, then what the heck's the point?
What do you mean?
What did he do?
He beat up the whole fucking Castlevania and also the vampire who ruled Castlevania. And then his best friend popped up and was like, hey, by the way, I got this sick magic crystal. And Leon's like, oh, rad, what's that do? And he goes, lets me control death. Hey, Death. And then Death popped up. was like, "Yeah, boss," and he was like, "Give me that vampire's soul so I can be a cool vampire." And Death was like, "Got it, boss," and he did that. And then his friend was like, "All right, I'm gonna call myself Dracula." Out, and then disappeared. And Leon was like, "Man, my best friend's a dick. My whole family's gonna spend forever hunting that guy." And then that was the
And
end of
also, he
Innocence.
killed Death.
Also, yeah, Leon then did beat up Death and swear that he would kill the knight, I believe.
Sure. That was going really well up until it wasn't.
This is the best the
Oh.
Devil Forge Master can do.
So you say it was going really well, but like he still had a lot of health left, like a whole bar even.
Yeah, but I was like in a rhythm, and then I didn't have him in a rhythm.
And then you weren't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Matthias was all like, God sucks and stuff. Join me and be a cool vampire. And Leon was like, nah, dog.
Now, dog, fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Pretty
You
much.
and the knight. Meanwhile, as I pull down this hole in the Castlevania wiki, have you ever heard of Demon Castle Dracula, Blood of Demons, Nightmare of Blood?
Is that
I
like
don't think I have.
I'm assuming that's like a play or a radio drama.
It was originally intended to be a novelization of Super Castlevania 4, but the author decided to create an original story.
You know, I don't think I can really blame him.
Ah.
Get run away from you, Simon, or Trevor, whichever Belmont you are. There are too many Belmonts. How many Belmonts does it take to get to Julius, the coolest Belmont?
Takes a while. He's the final link in the current Belmont chain.
Hey,
You know, he's
so-
also got amnesia, so God knows how many kids Julius has that he just doesn't remember. I mean,
So there's like
Julius really had
700 years
Dracula
between Leon and
2000.
Julius. So.
Huh?
It's like 700 years between Leon and Julius or something, so.
Yeah, it's like... When the hell was Richter alive, even?
Like 1850s?
Richter, does it have your date of birth or anything? Richter was 25 in 1798,
Oof.
and then it's unknown descendants until Julius Belmont, who fought Dracula in the year 2000. So, you know, there's a gap.
I thought Aria of Sorrow was like 21 something.
Oh yeah, no, Aria of Sorrow is 2035, but Julius is the guy who beat Dracula in the year 2000.
Sealed him away forever.
Yeah, he beat him on New Year's Eve, 1999.
Dracula was
Demon
Y2K.
What?
Dracula was Y2K.
Well, no, Dracula was weak to Y2K. Castlevania had not updated its system to handle the whole year switchover, and the whole thing just fell apart. Dracula couldn't revive. Asian chick trapped him in an eclipse. It was fucked up.
How is fucking Trevor's curry now full heal?
That's a great question. It would be if you were a Belmont.
That's true.
But as it stands, you can't handle that curry's full power.
Can't handle the 17 herbs and spices.
If you wield the curry for too long,
16
it will
of them are
kill you.
garlic.
Oh my god, Trevor. I hate you so much.
So, this is the best the Devil Forge Master can do.
I feel like I was doing better with the big sword. go back to the big sword, I guess. So the fucking berserk sword over here. Wow, my Terminator friend did really shitty this go round. Give me your curry, Belmont! I like to imagine Hector as like a school bully. Give me your lunch money, Belmont!
You know for a fact Hector is the kid in school who got bullied.
Yes, I do know that. See Castlevania Season 2 trailer.
Also Castlevania Season 2.
Or Season 3 trailer, rather. That's what I meant. He had his cute little zombie dog though. That was so cute. And then Carmella, like, killed it. I don't think she actually killed it, but...
Oh god damn it.
Yeah, it's up.
I did not realize that apparently the Castlevania has a crossover
Oh?
with Otomedius Excellent.
Yes, there is hot lady Simon Belmont.
No, her name is Kokoro Belmont, for the record.
Yep.
And she's Julius's half-sister.
Great. Is she half Japanese?
I would assume. Considering her name is Kokoro Belmont.
She's one of them biracials.
Wow.
Whatever, you played Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
I mean, some of it.
You played enough of Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Did I? Don't remember anyone throwing down biracials, but also I don't remember most Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
So the archer lady who's friends with Virion, whose name is like Eleonora Japanese last name,
Oh, right, yeah.
is like, everyone's like, oh, you're so exotic and cool because you're one of them biracials. So please stop kicking me, Simon or Trevor Belmont. Trevor Belmont, you are.
It's Trevor.
I know.
If you don't know,
I'm
if you haven't
aware.
figured that out by now,
I keep messing up his name.
why?
I don't know. I'm used to just talking about Simon Belmont. I don't know why, because I feel like for the main character of the Castlevania, Simon Belmont is in shockingly few Castlevania games.
I mean, they're all. I mean, it's Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Castlevania Chronicles, Castlevania for MSX.
Yeah, but how many, like, Castlevania for MSX
Super
is just,
Castlevania 4.
Castlevania for MSX is just Castlevania. I don't think that's...
Right, but there's like a million
Judgment.
different versions of Castlevania.
Yeah.
I mean, Simon Belmont's also in Harmony of Dissonance. But
What was I doing? Oh, I was going to switch. No, I want equip. How do I menu? I wish you could save in the save room after you've, like, tweaked your inventory. This is a problem in Order of Ecclesia as well, because like if you tweak your layout after you save, you have to leave the screen and come back for the save to let you save again. I don't know why. Oh my god, Trevor, please stop uppercutting. Nope. I tried to steal his curry again, but he got out of the way.
Good job.
No, bad job. He didn't let me steal his curry. There we go. I like that you can only steal his curry after he calls upon the power of God.
Forgotten curry.
Oh, I'm almost dead. I gotta heal. I had 4 hit points. I wasn't paying attention. Fucking Muay Thai kicks, Trevor Belmont. Muay Thai. Whoa!
Hot info from the Castlevania wiki.
Oh.
Apparently, Simon Belmont's originally planned name was Peter Dante.
Sure. I'm kind of glad they went with Simon Belmont.
Oh yeah, no. Way better. But Peter Dante.
Peter Dante is the, like,
Peter
6th grade
Dante-
baseball coach who tries way too hard to be like, nah, kids, you gotta...
I was thinking it's yet another fucking Mitt Romney alias.
Yeah.
That's
Dante Incognito.
Well, I was about to say, do you think Mitt Romney would be so careless as to use the same initials twice? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can just keep getting off these big combos on Trevor. That would be ideal. The trick is getting off these big combos on Trevor. Yummy, thank you.
best the devil forged.
Sometimes he chews through your health real quick. You're trying to, like, face fight him. It turns out lightsaber whip may be better than giant sword.
I don't remember this particular fight being that bad, but I was also grinding pretty hard when I played that game.
I've done 0 grinding. And again, at this point, I feel like I have the strategy. It's just executing the strategy,
Yeah.
Sure.
which is, I feel like, consistently
this.
my problem.
Well,
but-
while you get this, let me point out that while reliving the Pierre Delecto saga on this news article, I discovered something I actually hadn't noticed, which is apparently the person who discovered Pierre Delecto's secret identity also discovered that James Comey was on Twitter under the alias Reinhold Neighbor.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. Yo, Curry, Belmont. I mean, I guess if you're, like, a public figure, you want to, you know, reclaim some of your anonymity.
What would be your fake Twitter name?
My fake Twitter name...
Famous politician.
My fake Twitter name would be The Fake Psychic. No, wait. I don't know. I'd go to a fucking...
Cervante.
Yeah, no. Serve the anime. No.
David Cagington.
I would just go to like a D&D name generator and just be like, give me your names. Give me your names for a human paladin or something. So, because I want maximum dumb. Well, I guess maximum dumb would be like an elf name, but you know.
Or you could use this multi-blood character here. Reese Beef Stradesburg.
I love Melty Blood names. Melty Blood is the series that has given the world Nervous Scorner chaos.
Yeah. Nebuchadnezzar.
Is that how you're supposed to say it?
I think so. I think this Nebuchadnezzar.
Sure.
That sounds right.
Why is there a Q in it?
Fair questions.
Oh, I got boomerang to death.
So, this is the best the devil
I
forged.
really wish you could skip these death quotes. I don't need Trevor Belmont to tell me that I'm a shit. I know that I am a shit, Trevor Belmont.
I think we got food over here, so I'm gonna have to AFK for a bit.
Makes sense.
Impossible.
Sadly, according to the Castlevania wiki, by the way, Castlevania the movie remains cancelled.
I don't know if that's a sadly.
I mean, you'll never get the fucking Paul Anderson Castlevania movie.
Is that which one is that?
Yeah, you're confused.
I could. There are too many ex-Anderson directors. Is that Resident Evil Man, or is that like the artist, man.
The funny thing is, you'll never be able to find out because I searched for Paul Anderson, director, and it redirected me to Paul W.S. Anderson.
Like, it's gotta
Who
be...
is the Resident Evil guy, by the way?
I thought Paul W.S. Anderson was the other guy.
No, according to this, Paul W.S. Anderson is the Resident Evil guy because he's married to Mila Jovovich.
Right.
And he has the upcoming movie Monster Hunter.
Yep. Who's the guy who did the...
Yeah?
The,
You mean
the
Paul
master?
Thomas Anderson?
Yes.
Guy who did Punch Drunk Love, apparently.
Yes. That's a good movie. It's one of, like, 2 good Adam Sandler movies.
He did their movie Blood, he did Boogie Nights, etc., etc.
Paul Thomas
Evil.
Paul Thomas Anderson and Paul W.S. Anderson are very different people that I consistently get mixed up.
Oh man, do you remember that preview photo from the Monster Hunter movie?
I do. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
And then there's Wes Anderson, who I think is my favorite of the directors named Anderson with monosyllabic first names. Because he's like the Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest Hotel guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like those movies a lot. And he's got a new movie coming out with Bill Murray and assorted other people who are his friends. And in every one of his movies.
I did not realize that apparently, like, Bill Murray and whatnot are showing up in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
Wait, why the depressed yeah?
Because they also showed up in the last new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah. But the difference is that that one always looked terrible, and this new one looks like it might be okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Paul Rudd as much as the next guy, but I don't think I have any interest in seeing it.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like Stranger Things kids. I think Stranger Things is kind of personally. But, like, at least they're trying something vaguely different.
Also, I feel like commit to your other bad movie.
Why would you commit to the other bad movie?
Because the part where the trailer for the new one is like there hasn't been any ghosts since the 80s.
Yeah.
No.
There haven't. Yeah, no, yes. There have been... That other movie didn't happen because that other movie was abject dog shit.
Yeah, but commit.
That other movie was the worst thing that happened in New York since 9/11.
Oh, Jesus.
Gotta be in.
It's the worst thing that happened to New York since Michael Bloomberg became mayor.
I think you mean president. He's on his way.
I had to subtweet relatives. That was why I retweeted like 15 billion Michael Bloomberg is a shitty human being tweets.
Yeah, go figure. But you know, he did pay a lot of money to the Democrats, so maybe he can just skip in here and get his shot at being president, you know?
What if he just paid all the money and then fucked off into the world?
No, what if he just paid all the money and then every fucking news station was like, hey, this Bloomberg guy, you heard about him?
I have heard so much about Michael Bloomberg, because do you know how many Bloomberg ads I've seen in the past month?
You know that I see them literally every day when I go to work on the fucking break room TV.
Yeah.
Just every morning, Bloomberg ad after Bloomberg ad.
Same.
You shaking hands with Obama and Obama going, I want to suck this guy's dick.
I know Joe Biden is Joe Biden, but I did really enjoy his zinger about Michael Bloomberg.
Oh.
About talking about the Michael Bloomberg ads, and Joe Biden's like, you'd think Michael Bloomberg was Obama's vice president.
I was gonna say he's really stealing Biden's thunder, because Biden's whole thing is, hey, I knew Obama. So, like, if Bloomberg takes that from him, Biden's got nothing left.
Did I still carry yet? No, but I still have all my potions. That's good. Eat it, Trevor! I would
Did you
actually...
make it?
Well, no, not yet. I would
You're
really
gonna
like...
make it this time.
I'm hoping. I'd really like him to do his that, so I can do... Nope!
Well, clearly, the only way to make sure that you actually make it is to continue talking about Michael Bloomberg.
Apparently. We learned this with Saint Germain, is that when we start talking about things I don't really like or want to talk about, I do really good at the video games.
It's like your panic at the topic of conversation forces you to do better at the game to move things along.
Yeah. I really need him to do his holy power thing again. I really need you to do that and stop trying to kick me.
No, he's gonna kick you.
Well, he's gonna try. He's not succeeded.
He's gonna throw crosses at you.
No, stop. Trevor. Be cooperative.
He's gonna keep throwing crosses.
I mean, I want him to throw crosses, but I want him to throw big magic ones and not little boomerang ones.
Yeah, what if he just keeps throwing little ones, though?
Then I can't steal his curry, and that's unfortunate. Pardon me.
You could just keep dodging and let your little magic dude kill him 9 HP at a time.
Come on, Trevor. Holy flame. Holy something. Holy cow. The only other issue... Oh, yeah, see, he killed my mage friend.
That's a problem.
So now I have to call in my bird friend.
Is your bird friend last friend?
Bird friend, last friend. Jesus Christ, bird friend!
Is bird friend getting it done, or is he dead?
Bird friend... Well, bird friend was getting it done. Now he's dead, and now I'm dead.
Great.
Damn it.
We're so close.
I was so close. Also, the game froze
Well.
there, because it was very sad about the fact that I died.
Back to talking about Michael Bloomberg, I guess.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that, or like the Branch Davidian raid.
Tell me about the Branch Davidian raid. That's a cult thing, right?
Yeah, Branch Davidians are totally a cult. So basically, the deal is that like there's a whole weird thing involving the cult where like
Is this the
there was a
Jonestown
split,
man?
huh?
Is this the
What?
Jonestown
What?
man?
What?
Where the Kool-Aid comes from?
No, that was
Okay.
Jonestown.
Yeah. But I thought that was like a branch of the Branch Davidians or something.
No, there's not. If I remember correctly, they were not connected. I think it was a different cult thing. Basically, there was this one dude who was like, man, I want to lead the cult. And then there was this other guy who was like, but I want to lead the cult. And there was a split over who was going to get to lead the cult. And like, the one dude was like, nah, I'm going to take over. But I'm just going to move, and all my followers are coming with me to like another state, and we're going to hang out. And then as soon as your mom dies, other guy, we're going to come back and take over the cult. And the other guy's like, you can't take over the cult because you're not qualified. And to prove it, let's have a resurrection off.
Oh no.
So he went and dug up this lady's body from the local graveyard. And was like, alright, first one to resurrect this bitch gets to lead the cult. And then there was a gunfight that happened because the other guy wanted to have him arrested on the grounds of desecrating a body, but the police were like, without a photo of like, without proof that he dug up a body, we can't arrest him. So he like tried to break into the compound with his people to get a photo of the coffin, and there was a giant courtroom battle about it, and the judge was like, no, you cannot drag a coffin into my courtroom to use as evidence. Get the fuck out.
That is kind of fucked up.
It is, but also, so that whole thing happened, and then I believe the dude who was leading the cult, who dug up the body in the first place, who technically won the legal battle, I guess, was later arrested for murdering one of the other people in the cult because that guy wanted to talk to him about a dream he had where Jesus had told him that he should actually lead the cult.
Ah!
So then the current cult leader murdered this guy with an axe when the guy said that Jesus wanted him to be the cult leader. So that guy got arrested, and then other guy came back and was like, hey, I heard you guys need a cult leader. By the way, my name is now David Koresh. I've legally changed it. And then he became the cult leader of the Branch Davidians.
Great.
And then started stockpiling weapons.
As one does.
Yeah. And then also passed a rule saying that all of the people in the cult, they could stay married to their wives, but the only person allowed to bang their wives was the cult leader.
Sure.
Because he had to breed a new master race, as God had told him that he was the chosen one. As he does. You know. Typical cult leader stuff.
Also,
right?
I feel like that section was part of the cult from Yakuza 0.
Basically. So, anyways, this turned into a thing. Apparently, at some point, a UPS driver, like, dropped a package he was delivering to the compound, and the package turned out to be full of, like, M16 magazines and hand grenade casings, and an unidentified black powder.
Oh. I mean, you know, props for not being an unidentified white powder. I feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel like unidentified white powder got a bad rap for a while. Because, I mean, it might have been cocaine.
I mean, yeah.
Could have been flour.
Is that better or worse than building explosives?
I mean, who are you really hurting if you just do a little cocaine on the side?
And that's what I'm saying. So wouldn't it have been better to have white powder?
That's true. What if it was just, like, really molasses-heavy brown sugar? It was like, hey, this is just all a misunderstanding.
Anyways, at some point, the Alcohol and Tobacco... Yeah, the Bureau of Alcohol,
ATF?
Tobacco, and Firearms, yes, the ATF, got called by the McLennan County Sheriff's Department because of the guns and whatnot. And we're like, alright, we're gonna spy on these people.
Oh, that's
And then the
gonna work out great.
sheriff was like, what if instead of spying on them, we just went up and talked to them and asked them about all the guns? And the ATF was like, nah, but spy them, though.
And then Far
So
Cry
then they
5
did that.
happens.
Huh?
And then Far Cry 5 happens.
I'm scrolling down the Wikipedia article now.
That's fine.
Make sure I've got the order of events correct.
Which is good, because you're gonna have to, like, stretch a little more.
Apparently they had 50 caliber machine guns, multiple M16s, etc. Although they did have a problem because technically none of the things they owned were actually illegal, and neither were the noise complaints from all of the gunfire.
Because Texas.
Yeah.
That's just them doing their patriotic duty, just firing guns in the air. That's how you for true.
I want to say somewhere in here there was something about the name of the store that they bought all these guns from or something. I can't find it now.
Guns are us.
Well, I found something that just says Mag Bag, which would be a pretty good name for a gun store, not gonna lie.
Magbag sounds like a gun store in, like, Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Like, that's at the Willamette Parkview Mall.
Oh, apparently part of the thing that they did... part of the surveillance the ATF did. They began surveillance from a house across the road from the compound several months before the siege. Their cover was noticeably poor. The quote-unquote college students were in their 30s, had new cars, were not registered at the local schools, and did not keep a schedule that would have fit any legitimate employment or classes. The investigation included sending in an undercover agent, Robert Rodriguez, whose identity Koresh learned, though he chose not to reveal that fact until the day of the raid.
Oops.
These guys may have been terrible at their jobs. Okay, yeah, the store was called the Mag Bag.
It's a good name for your gun store. I dislike that he becomes invincible when he tries to put back his aura. Ah,
Apparently there were rumors or claims that David Koresh may in fact be operating a meth lab within the compound.
sure.
Seems like a thing you would do. A newspaper article was released because someone at the Waco Tribune Herald had been doing like research on David Koresh and basically published a big article about the dude's weird fucking sex cult. It was like, hey, by the way, this guy may be running a weird sex cult. At which point the ATF were like, alright, we better raid these guys immediately. Because now everybody's actually paying attention to them.
Give me your curry, Belmont.
Ha!
Yeah.
Any advantage of surprise was lost when a KWTX TV reporter who'd been tipped off about the raid asked for directions from a U.S. Postal Service mail carrier who was coincidentally Koresh's brother-in-law.
Whoops.
So this reporter was like, "Hey, do you know where the Branch Davidian compound is? They're about to raid the shit out of it, and I don't want to miss it." And the guy that he asked the directions from was the brother-in-law of the cult leader.
I mean...
So they very quickly found out about the raid.
I feel like that's not... like, that's just unlucky, is what that is.
Yeah, but it's funny.
You're not wrong, but it is incredibly unlucky. Stop fucking rolling,
Dude.
Trevor.
Cult leader told undercover dude, he was like, by the way, I know you're undercover agent, and also they're about to raid us, so you should probably bail. And that guy was like, yeah, I'm gonna bail. And then he left and went back to the ATF. ATF claimed they heard shots from within the compound, while Branch Davidian survivors claimed that the first shots came from the ATF agents outside.
You know, it's made of the motto.
Uh-huh. Other reports claim the first shots were fired by the ATF dog team, sent to kill the dogs in the Branch Davidian kennel.
I don't want to be a member of the dog team.
Koresh was basically immediately shot. Branch Davidian, Wayne Martin called emergency services, pleading for them to stop shooting, asked for a ceasefire. Then a big gunfight happened. ATF agents went in and shot a bunch of people. They got shot. There's just a bunch of shooting back and forth for about 2 hours. And then the ATF guys started to run out of ammunition, so they backed off.
As you do.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, the FBI took command soon after.
As they do.
At first, Koresh had contact with local news media and was giving phone interviews from inside the compound. The FBI cut all communication to the outside world. The next 51 days, communication with those inside was by telephone by a group of 25 FBI negotiators.
Give me your curry, Belmont.
Apparently they negotiated, and a bunch of kids left the compound. FBI sent in a video camera to, interview the people inside the compound.
Yeah.
People made statements on the video. Branch Davidians sent the videotape out to show the FBI that there were no hostages inside. Negotiators' logs showed that when the tape was reviewed, there was concern that the tapes released to the media would gain sympathy for Koresh and the Branch Davidians.
If there's one thing people love, it's cults.
Well, it's cults that are literally saying, hey, why are we under siege? And also, no one in here is actually being held against their will. While the government is going like, oh yeah, no, they're totally being held against their will. And then they're on video going, no, we're fine, just please stop shooting at us. Negotiators got more and more agitated because Koresh would just have conversations talking about the Bible. And they just got really upset at listening to Bible talk from the cult. Two factions developed within the FBI, one believing negotiation to be the answer, the other force. Sleep deprivation of the inhabitants by means of all-night broadcasts of recordings of jet planes, pop music, chanting, and the screams of rabbits being slaughtered.
I feel like that was a topic of the best and the worst in that one when they talked about the movie with Scotty and the rabbits. Fuck.
So, this is the best the devil
They used armored vehicles to run over all of the cars parked outside the building that belonged to the Branch Davidians, and also apparently repeatedly drove over the grave of one of the Branch Davidians who'd been buried outside.
I feel like driving over the cars is kind of hilariously a dick move.
They cut all power and water to the compound, forcing those inside to survive on rainwater and stockpiled military rations.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome
Hey.
to the cult talk as I try desperately to beat Trevor Belmont.
Oh, cool. Which cult is
well,
there? Are we talking about today?
Branch Davidians.
Okay, sure.
And the FBI trying super hard to murder as many people as possible during the siege.
Mm-hmm. Is this the Waco thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, they let more people leave the compound. And by let, I mean the cult leader ordered more people to leave the compound because they were pretty sure they were going to get killed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
When was this? Is this like 80s, 90s?
No, this was early in the Clinton
93.
administration. Yeah.
Yeah, this was
93.
Clinton.
Before I was born is the lesson
Yeah.
here.
Where was I?
Neo Curry Belmont.
David Koresh got increasingly unhinged, proclaimed that he was the second coming of Christ, who had
As
been
one
commanded
does.
by his father to remain in the compound. 1 week prior to the assault, FBI planners considered using snipers to kill David Koresh and other key Branch Davidians. And then newly appointed U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno approved recommendations by the FBI team to mount an assault.
Yep.
Reno said the hostage rescue team was tired of waiting. The standoff was costing $1 million a week, and Branch Davidians can hold out for a while. Clinton later recounted, I told her if she thought it was the right thing to do, she could go ahead. Over the next several months, Janet Reno's reason for approving the final gas attack varied from her initial claim that the FBI hostage rescue team had told her that Koresh was sexually abusing children and beating babies. Parentheses, the FBI hostage rescue team later denied evidence of child abuse during the standoff, to her claim that Linda Thompson's unorganized militia of the United States was on the way to Waco, quote, either to help Koresh or to attack him. End quote. So basically, they have no idea why they actually decided to gas the place. They just did.
Nice.
It was the thing to do at the time.
Yeah. So, yep.
In conclusion, everyone loves Janet Reno.
Yeah. So they used armored vehicles to punch holes in the walls of the compound, and then pumped in tear gas to try and force the Davidians out without harming them. Officially, no armed assault was to be made. Dun. Tear gas rounds procured from Company F in Waco turned out to be unusable pyrotechnic rounds.
Yeah.
Two metal M651E1 military pyrotechnic tear gas rounds, sounded flash grenades, and illumination flares. After more than 6 hours, no Branch Davidians left the building, sheltering instead in an underground concrete lock room, the bunker within the building, or using gas masks. At around noon, 3 fires broke out almost simultaneously in different parts of the building and spread quickly. Government maintains the fires were deliberately started by the Branch Davidians. Branch Davidian survivors maintain that the fires were accidentally or deliberately started by the assault. Only 9 people left the building during the fire. The remaining Branch Davidians, including the children, were either buried alive by rubble, suffocated, or shot. In all, 76 people died.
I feel like sometimes Big Liquid Metal Man is just not doing it, you know? Also, Trevor goes invincible too much. Because you also can't hit him while he's charging up his dumb uppercuts.
Also, apparently there was some controversy because there were 2 big steel doors to the compound, and it was claimed by the people inside that the ATF had started firing first, and the right-hand entry door was where they had opened fire. And then when they had returned fire, it was through the left-hand door. So whenever all of the stuff was being investigated, essentially the government was like, alright, so we found the left-hand door and there are bullets going through both ways. So this proves that the firing was mutual. And they're like, okay, cool, where's the right-hand door? And the government was like, it's gone. And everybody was like, it's a giant steel door attached to the building. It's like, where is it? And they were like, well, it was probably burned up in the fire.
You know,
and they're like, the left-hand door is
doesn't know
literally the door right next to it, and it's fine. It's in perfect condition. Well, how did the right-hand door burn up in the fire and the left-hand door not? And the government just shrugged and was like, ah. And then the right-hand door was never found.
Good times.
Jesus. Ah.
So this is the best the
Trevor.
Forge Master can do.
I feel like I'm gonna try putting friends in guard at the start, maybe.
Between 1993 and 1999, FBI spokesman denied, even under oath, that the use of any sort of pyrotechnic devices during the assault. However, pyrotechnic gas grenades had been found in the rubble immediately following the fire. In '99, FBI spokesmen were forced to admit that they had used the grenades. However, they claimed that these devices had been used during an early morning attempt to penetrate a covered, water-filled construction pit 40 yards away and were not fired into the building. When the FBI's documents were turned over to Congress for an investigation in '94, the page listing the use of pyrotechnic devices was missing. And a senior FBI official told Newsweek as many as 100 FBI agents had known about the use of pyrotechnics, but no one spoke up until '99. On May 12th, less than a month after the incident, Texas state authorities bulldozed the site, rendering further gathering of forensic evidence impossible.
Give me your curry, Belmont. You and your uppercuts. And your kicks.
Guess we can see why the government was showing so much caution during that dumbass standoff the other year.
Oh, right, I forgot about that thing.
The weird Montana people
Yeah.
or whatever. Not punching me.
I mean, there was the one guy that died, but that was it.
Also, wasn't he like 90?
Good question.
Oh god.
remember.
TFP, why is hashtag anime awards trending?
Oh, because I saw a thing
Isn't
that
that-
Xavier Woods is hosting the Anime Awards.
Oh god.
And he was listed as a WWE superstar and anime fan, Xavier Woods.
Hell yeah.
I really like the new Battle of the Brands that they've been doing, because they sometimes have like cut-in promos from the people they have put into the video game. And I don't know if you know this, but Big E is a very funny human being.
Big E is pretty good.
Fucking eat it, Trevor. Just
Yes,
that
Big E cheated, and he'll cheat again.
He will.
So this is your true strength.
Why did you attack me?
The place to which Isaac has gone can only be entered by those who possess very advanced powers. I had to test you.
I feel like Trevor sounds like
Meaning you would have me pursue
Travis
he did it.
Touchdown Man,
But first you shall need my help. Come.
Robin Atkin Downs. We're gonna get to the next save point and call that a stream, because fuck you, Trevor. Trevor, you cut your...
Sure.
That's not how cutting yourself works. You don't cut yourself through the glove. Ugh.
Tis done.
So, the Belmont blood acts as a key. And what lies beyond this point?
Do not ask. If you knew, your heart might waver. For now, hold the image of Isaac in your mind. Think only of defeating him.
Very well.
Hector, hunt him down. And when you have him, show him no mercy.
Okay, we're actually not. I was looking and debating if I wanted to go back for the save room or forward, and it seems like forward is actually not that far. But also, let's fuck up these candles. Get some money. And a potion, or a high potion.
Fancy.
That would have been useful an hour ago.
Potion, you're too high.
Man. I know it's not, but I want that episode to be in that dumb Sega CD Dragon's Lair Power Rangers game. There's a regular potion. I appreciate that these people are named Final Guards. With their big dumb green spectral shields, I guess. This noise is the worst. Oh, I got some adamantine. I'm gonna make some Wolverine claws.
Nah, man, you gotta put that shit on your bones.
True. That also probably would have been useful against Trevor. Oh, these final guards. He did final guard. Turns out that wasn't the final guard.
Oh.
Or it might have been actually, because these just seem to be a bunch of undead lords. Get out of here, undead lords. The save point is like literally right around the corner. There we go. Same. Ah, final guards. There are an awful lot of enemies called final guards for them to be the final guards,
I mean, they're the final guards as a group.
I would much prefer it if they were the final guard and there was just one of them ever. And he doesn't respawn.
That's silly. Who just has one non-respawning bodyguard? It's a terrible idea.
I feel like everybody in Dark Souls says that.
I thought everybody in Dark Souls just has like a shit ton of guys outside the room that respawn endlessly. It sucks.
I am sure there are some that don't respawn. Doesn't, like, Katana Man in Dark Souls 3 not respawn?
I guess, but he's not like a bodyguard. He's just a crazy dude in his underwear with a katana.
Oh, my crow evolved into a Skarmory.
Nice.
The best bird Pokemon.
It's no Firo.
You learned carpet bombs.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Get in there and commit some war crimes, bird.
It's like
I was about to say hashtag Castlevania war crimes.
it's like fucking basil juice over here.
Bird is deploying white phosphorus.
Not playing Spec Ops The Line here.
Man, Basil Juice is rad. I love that guy.
He's pretty rad.
Ever seething Basil Juice?
Should do. Super angry. There's a save room.
More explosions, and also a bigger dive bomb thing. Where he just fucking headbutts the ground from a mile in the air and explodes.
It's pretty good.
So good.
We're gonna hit this save game, and then we're gonna stop streaming. Join us next time
Alright.
for
Probably the end of the Curse of Darkness.
unless we run into more bosses.
Sounds good.
With the end of the game having bosses, that sounds silly.
That
Why would that
sounds
happen?
silly.
I can think of at least 2 bosses that are usually in a Castlevania game.
Well, we just said that the other one didn't have Dracula. Why would this one have Dracula?
Yeah, that guy's dead.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oh.